The Idol was released over a year ago now, and the way it was received back then still does not personally sit well with me. So here I am in its defense because I know for a fact that I just cannot be alone on this. So the show stars Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd, and essentially the whole reason it got so much hate and negative response at the time was because it was apparently too sexual for most people. The point is that beneath all the slander and all the bandwagonness of it all, there really is a very solid story there. And not just that, but insight of the music industry itself sprinkled all throughout the show, which just amplifies the story being told so much more. You have The Weeknd, who is probably the most successful male artist of our times, not only starring, but writing and producing the soundtrack for the show, and, well, created the show itself along with Sam Levinson. So one can only imagine or infer that some of his sort of insights from the industry itself do make their way into the show somehow. Maybe the meetings that happen before a single releases, or how a team scrambles when there is controversy surrounding their artist, or cancel culture itself. And that's not even to mention the whole story of Jocelyn itself, which I personally interpreted as a pop star, i.e. maybe a Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, and dare I say Selena Gomez, who The Weeknd did date and who many people speculate that Abel drew at least some inspiration from. Jocelyn, a singer who grasps and uses pain and struggle from their lifestyle as a muse to create music. You can't really tell that story without showing then that lifestyle that that singer lives, as you are telling the story of the pop star's lifestyle. Again, and this is a side note again, but in my opinion, the stuff that is shown within the show is probably so much more tamer than the stuff that actually happens within the music industry itself. Yet, people online still couldn't handle it. The way the show not only showcases these experiences, I not only think is beautiful with the color grading, the camera that is used, the shots between actors, but I think it also encapsulates Los Angeles so perfectly. And as somebody who personally lives in Los Angeles, I think it just adds, I guess, sort of this bias to me, one, but also I can say it adds to this pop star lifestyle that the show is trying to and does successfully encapsulate again. And you feel like you are this pop star when you watch from start to finish. You feel as if you are in the dimly red lit room with Jocelyn and Tedros. You feel as if you are in that car driving on the freeway. You feel as if you are in that Gucci store, if it's even a Gucci store. You feel as if you are there with these characters. While The Weeknd was criticized for being a terrible actor in people's opinions, I personally think, and this isn't in a meat riot type of way, that everybody within this show does their thing, and the scenes don't feel like scenes, but feel like conversations that you, the viewer, are in. Writing that was translated by the actors through their delivery, and sometimes writing that was translated through the singing as well. World-class Sinner, a song that has about 5 versions, if I'm not mistaken, throughout the show. And if you listen closely, not only does the song itself progress throughout the show, as in added vocals, added stems, maybe a different production. I don't know the specifics exactly. I'm not personally a music expert, but if you really listen to it, the changes are there. Every time you hear the song throughout the show, it's a different song essentially, and even outside of the show really, as if you stream the song on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, the quote-unquote official Jocelyn release has the moans and ad-libs that the clean version that we heard in the first episode did not have.
When it comes time to eat, you better start to run when I call. Looking for something sweet when it gets time to eat. When it comes time to eat, you better start to run when I call.
I don't know, I remember the first time I watched the show, unironically, the song ended up becoming my most streamed song of that summer, which is just interesting and there has to be a message in there somewhere. Since then, I watched the show sort of as my own weird muse of inspiration when I need to write a script for video or record a video. And I always just find myself briefly thinking every time how this show got so much hate. Because truly, it is such a beautiful, beautiful show. And there really isn't anything like it at this time. It truly feels like an old school American movie, even though, it's a show. Know that maybe 10, 20 years from now, people with maybe more of a classy taste will appreciate this show for what it is, which is a beautifully encapsulated Los Angeles dream pop star lifestyle with moments that may or may not seem like an abusive BDSM dream, but, that's LA for you. And probably the least dirty things of it, too.